What's going on, people in YouTube land? Kimchi Chris here, and welcome to today's brand new video. And I'm excited to be here. I'm pumped. I'm full of energy because it's been a little bit longer than I would like since the last video. If you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you already know I've been having some computer issues that's kind of delayed the video production, but long story short, it's all good now. It's kind of like I got a new computer out of the deal because this thing is working like it's brand new now. It didn't cost me a dime to get this thing fixed either. Thank you, Apple Store in Cool Springs, is that right? Cool Springs, yeah. Cool Springs Mall. Thank you to those Apple Store employees. But you're not here to hear about my computer issues. You're here to hear about some records. How many more times can I say here? And I'm sure most of you know about Record Store Day. That's right, it's something that descends upon record stores every April and just makes a whole mess of things with a whole bunch of great records coming out. But now there's a Record Store Day number 2. That's right, it's on Black Friday every year, and they put out a whole mess of records again for all of us to buy, which are usually just re-releases of stuff we already have. But we're happy to throw our money at these record stores and get these awesome releases because they're all limited edition. They all have a certain amount of numbers. They're all different colored vinyl, or maybe they're picture disc, or maybe it's something unreleased. Whatever it is, it's something cool always. And the Black Friday list this year had a lot of great stuff on it from a lot of great bands that I enjoy. So I had to get out there, fight the crowds, mess some people up, and get these records. By messing people up, I mean I waited in a line with a bunch of record nerds, that's right. But I got everything I wanted for the most part. The only thing I missed out on was the live AliceCooper record, but we're not gonna dwell on that, even though that's the thing I probably wanted the most. With that being said, let's dive into these records and show you guys some of the stuff I picked up. And we're gonna start with something small, that's right. We're gonna start with these 7 inches. And first up here, we have the Cheap Trick Give Me Some Truth 7 inch. That's right, it's a brand new Cheap Trick song, sort of, since it's a cover. And it's backed by I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, a live version of that with Roy Wood. And these 2 tracks are awesome. It comes on this really cool red vinyl, as you can see there, and it's altogether a really good release. Getting anything new from Cheap Trick is always awesome. They're one of the bands I try to pick up everything from, so of course I had to get this, and you know, not a whole lot else to say about it. It's a good release to add into the collection. I don't have a ton of Cheap Trick 45s, so it's a nice thing to add in there. And next up, we have a 7 inch from an artist that probably most of you are not the biggest fans of, honestly, on this channel, but I love her, and I think she's great. We got On the iPhone by Jenny Lewis. That's right, this is a demo version of Rabbit Hole, as well as Standing in the Doorway on the B-side, and it is released on this pink vinyl that you can see here, which is really cool. And Jenny Lewis is just a great, like, straightforward singer-songwriter type. You know, if you're unfamiliar with her, basically imagine, you know, something like Tom Petty or Elvis Costello, but as a girl, of course, and you're starting to get the idea. I really am a big fan of her, and this is a great little 45 to add into the collection. She's always doing cool releases, and this is a great one to add into my collection of her stuff. And now we're gonna dive into the 12 inches because there's quite a few cool ones, and these first 2 here, they aren't technically Record Store Day releases, but they did come out on Black Friday, and they came out exclusively at Walmart. Yeah, I know, Walmart's doing exclusive records now. What a weird thing. They really are just doing exclusive colors, but they're still exclusive records of bands you know and love. And the first one here is a very familiar looking record, probably to most of you. It's the Aerosmith Greatest Hits record, and as you can see here, it's a nice release of it. It's a nice re-release. Has a good insert, and it's on white vinyl, as you can see there. And you know, there's nothing different about this from the regular release, but it was on sale, cheaper than it's even gonna be on a regular basis, so I picked it up. I mean, it was 15 bucks, you know, it's all good stuff. This is a good representation of 70s Aerosmith back when they were drunk and out of control and just having a good time with their lives, so it was a good thing to add into the collection. And next up is another Walmart exclusive that, oh boy, this one was hard to find according to some people, but I got lucky and I found one. You're looking at it right here, that's right. It's the Kiss Destroyer Resurrected re-release there. It's a re-release, of course, and it's on colored vinyl as well. It's on this translucent orange vinyl, and it has, of course, the insert, and it's really nice, and it was on sale for 15 bucks as well, normally priced at like $23, I believe, and this one was hard to find. A lot of people weren't finding it. I think a lot of that's because a lot of people were flipping it on eBay and things of that nature, but regardless, I was able to grab one, and I'm so excited because, you know, getting a new Kiss release, it's always a good thing. It excites me every time, and having to actually go to the store and get it was, you know, an experience as always. Weirdly enough, if you go in the morning on Black Friday to Walmart, it's not really that busy. I think all the idiots go on Brown Thursday now, and you can just kind of walk in if you're there in the morning. So that's what I did to get this bad boy into my collection here. And next up we have another Kiss related release. We got Fraley's Comet Live. That's right, this was the version that was put out on VHS in the 80s, and of course, as you can see, the packaging here definitely, you know, kind of looks like a laser disc in a lot of ways, because it's, you know, the size of a vinyl but advertising the VHS release, and you know, makes me wonder, would they ever put this out on Blu-ray? Would they have the rights to do it? I don't know. This is put out from E1, not Megaforce, so no clue there, but you know, having it on orange vinyl, having this nice production of it, you know, this was technically never released in this format on vinyl. Now, most of these tracks were put out on the Greatest Hits Live 2-disc, picture disc thing that was put out a couple years back, but this is a really cool commemorative release that really feels like it's straight out of the late 80s, and I'm really excited to have this in my collection. This is one of the things I really wanted. I'm glad I got it, adding to that huge E1 Ace collection, because they're just putting out so many cool records from him in this day and age. It's quite the prolific era for purchasing and then sometimes repurchasing the same Ace music over and over again. Next up, we have something else from Cheap Trick. Oh boy, another Cheap Trick release. I love them. I try to get all their stuff. And what we have here is the Are You Ready Live, December 31st, 1979. And a lot of people would say this is the peak for the band, especially as a live entity, and you can't really completely argue with that. And having this release on vinyl with this nice gatefold, 2 LP digital download included, this is a wonderful thing to have. It's a full show as far as I'm aware. It sounds amazing. This is a great release. If you're tired of Budokan, pick this up if you can find it. This thing is actually somewhat readily available online right now. They're still available on Amazon despite them being limited to record store day. So pick this thing up if you're a Cheap Trick fan. It has all the classics. Of course, it starts with Hello there, and then you got Clock Strikes 10, you got California Man, On Top of the World, Heaven Tonight, Dream Police, of course. You got all the hits, all the obscure songs from that time period that they sometimes still bust out now because Cheap Trick's good about that. And this is just a great release altogether. Pick this up if you're a Cheap Trick fan. Don't sleep on it. Get it on Amazon right now. Go get it on Amazon right now. Actually, hold on. Don't go get it right now. Finish this video, then go get it on Amazon. That's a good plan right there. And next up, we have a release from AliceCooper. That's right, we have Dragon Town on vinyl, on orange vinyl, to be specific, with a nice gatefold. And this is a great thing to have on vinyl. A lot of stuff from that time in Alice's career is hard to find on vinyl, like Brutal Planet, Dragon Town, things like that. So I'm glad to see a lot of these getting re-released. The only thing that bugs me on this one, I do have just a small complaint, is if you look really closely at the cover, the casing itself is nice, it has that nice sheen to it. But when you look really closely at the cover, you can tell this was sourced from like a smaller image for probably the CD cover initially. And the insides, they actually look a little bit better when I'm looking at it here a little bit closer, kind of. I don't know. The back is still pretty bad as well. It just doesn't look great. The art is not great, and that kind of sucks, but I'm sure that's all the source material they had over at E1, so I can't be mad at those guys. It's just mind-boggling that probably at the time of this release, they never even considered putting it on vinyl or it being on a bigger image, or they didn't save it, one of the two. But regardless, if you like this album, it's still a cool thing to have because this is kind of an underrated classic in my opinion. I love this. I was a kid when these records were coming out, and this is my Alice in a lot of ways. I love this version in this era of AliceCooper for sure. And finishing things up, we have a straight up classic right here. We have the Runaways with Live in Japan. That's right. This is a re-release of it. It says for the first time, and it's hard to find. And I do have the original. Funny enough, I got it signed by Lita at the Kiss Expo she was at a couple years back. And it's just really nice to have this really quality version of a re-release of this, complete with OB strip and everything. If you don't love the Runaways, what's wrong with you? You just don't love rock and roll, because the Runaways are rock and roll, and this is a great release to have in the collection. I'm so excited that they've put it back out, and I think at this point I do have all of the Runaways stuff on vinyl. That's pretty cool. Maybe I should do a video about it sometime. It's a mix of originals and re-releases, but I don't know, would you guys like to see that? I'm a big fan of the Runaways, especially Joan and Lita there, so it's nice to have this, really excited to have it in the collection, and this is one I didn't think I would find because it was pretty limited from my memory there, so really cool thing to pick up and find. And that about does it for the records I picked up on Record Store Day 2019 Black Friday edition. So as I said, I picked up everything I wanted except for that live Alice Cooper $1 Billion Baby show. I really wish I could have found that. It's on eBay. It's kind of expensive right now. I'm gonna wait for the hype to die down and then maybe I can pick it up for a little bit more of an affordable price. But with that being said, did you guys pick up anything cool? Did you get any of these releases? Do you want any of these? Well, I can't give you mine, but again, Amazon and eBay are your friend. And that about wraps this video up, so let me know the answers to all those questions in the comments below. If you're new around here, definitely hit that subscribe button and hit the alarm so you get the updates, because it really helps the channel out more than you will ever know. And give this video a thumbs up if you love records, or rock and roll, or Kiss, or the Runaways, or any of the things we talked about here. Once again, my name is Kimchi Chris, and I will see you guys on the next video.